All right, the subject that I'm going to take today is about the 7 year cycles of life. Okay, very briefly, because it's a very advanced subject, we're only going to talk about um, just a little outline of how that works. Now, we know, according to science, that every 7 years, the human being replaces all their cells. So a process of time. And so we're going to look at a 7 year cycle of life, looking at the various ages and the phases and the different cycles that occur during those time frames. So during the ages of 0 to 7 years old is a very critical time in human life. That's the basics. That's when the personality is molded. That's when you move from feelings and emotions. You move based on feelings and emotion. That is how we operate from the ages of 0 to 7. Now, from 7 to 14 is the cycle of intellect, where a lot of learning occurs. You know, the brain is like a sponge where it really absorbs the good, the bad, and the ugly influences that may be surrounding our lives from 7 to 14. Now, 7 is when you balance your intellect. Now, the next phase is from 14 to 21. That is the cycle of identity, when you come into your identity. Now, that is the most confusing period for parents, because that is when teenagers rebel, because they are finding themselves. And it's just a cycle that all teenagers go through. Then you have the ages from 21 to 28, which is the cycle of maturity. That's when you discover your friends and you love to travel. You're getting an adult experience in life, and hopefully people find maturity by 28. Some do and some don't. But then from 28 to 35 is when you start coming into consciousness on who I am, who you are. What do I like, and what do I want to change in my life to become who I feel that I'm growing to be. Then you have the age of 35 to 42. And that's the cycle of spiritual, if you will, is when people usually find their spirituality or embrace some type of church or religious house to pretty much find their purpose. It may begin earlier for people, but in most, it's around the age of 35 to 42 when you're looking for fulfillment in life. Now, the age from 42 to 49 is the cycle of material. That's when things get to flowing in your life. That's the best time to create a business, because your ideas and your experience that you've had so far flow, and you are in what is called the cycle of material. Now, the age of 49 to 56 is the cycle of inventory, when you regroup and evaluate, what you have done in life. Then you have the age of 56 through 63, which is the cycle of decision. That's when the rubber hits the road, and then you begin to get on track. If you haven't been, you get on track usually around that time, because you start getting a little more serious about life and what have you done and what should you be doing and where will you be going in your lifetime. And that's when you that's when there's an urgency to do what you feel that you're here to do. And then from 63 on, that is considered the golden years. That's when you know who you are and you don't care what nobody think, because you've lived life and you're ready to enjoy it. The cycles of life, my friend. Study those, and you'll learn more about what's happening in your life and where you're going.